So hey Company 008, it's Xiant again, and I've got some Battlefield 3 for you, and I want to talk about something that applies to all first-person shooter games, but something that I've noticed specifically in Battlefield since I've been playing Call of Duty, and that is the degradation of my aim. For those of you who are familiar with my own channel, you'll know that I was a Wookiee in BC2 for a long time, I think about 3 months. I was the bastard who would sit on the Isla Inocentes hill and snipe, who would sit in the back of the Valparaiso first base and lighthouse and snipe. I was that guy. Because I came from Team Fortress 2, and in that game, aim was not such a factor. It was important if you were playing a sniper or a soldier or a demo man, but because of the class-based system there, good aim was not quite as important as it is in a more classic shooter like Battlefield 3. And so coming into BC2, I played squad deathmatch initially, and I was terrible at it. I had no aim, I had no reaction time, no situational awareness, nothing. I was bad, very bad. And so I defaulted to sniping, Wookiee sniping, no less. And eventually what happened was, I got it to where my first shot accuracy was actually pretty good. And while I don't condone wooking, I do think that if you don't have very good aim, and if you're new to a classical first-person shooter, it is beneficial at the very least to snipe. Simply because when you're sniping from long distances, you have to be able to put the shot on target. And especially in Battlefield, you have to be able to put the headshot on target from a long way. And that comes down to mouse control and aim. And if you don't have it, you're not going to get it really quickly if you're just running around with an assault rifle. You will learn, and you will learn painfully. But if you want an easier route that people won't really like you for, but it is easier and more comfortable, I suggest sniping. But I stopped sniping eventually. I started PTF going like crazy, and my KD went up, I played better, I felt better, and I enjoyed myself a whole lot more. But then I started playing Call of Duty on the Xbox and elsewhere, and then I started playing Battlefield 3 and close quarters in particular with the laser sight, and I find that my aim is degrading. Simply because I'm rewarded for spraying a little more, because a lot of the engagements I get into now are close range. They're not precision aiming situations where I have to be on target all the time. Rather, I'm at those situations where reaction time and quick thinking are rewarded less than precise aiming is. And I don't really think this is a bad thing, because while I enjoy having good aim, and I think my aim is still pretty good, I think that there should be some room for error when you're aiming, especially in a first-person shooter, because if there's not already some wobble in your aim, and there is certainly wobble in mine, you can't improve. And if you can't improve, the game becomes stale. And that's why I think that having a lot of options in the game is always good. Because if there's only one kit that works for all time, and only one aiming strategy that works for all time, then, you know, there's nothing left to do in the game and you should move on to something else. But on the positive note, now that my aim has degraded a little bit, I can start using exercises to help improve it, because there are certain exercises you can do to improve your aim, and I don't know any of them. And what I'd like for you to do in the comments below is suggest ways that you've improved your aim using some method that you've developed or that you've been taught. What have you done to improve your aim outside of the game itself? Say you're in a private match, or in a custom game, or in an empty server even. What do you do to improve your aim? Do you try and track a target as you're moving? Do you try to keep the mouse at a specific point at all times? What do you as a player do to help your aim get better? And I'd like to get as many comments as I can, because while there is no one surefire method, if we have a bunch of different ways of doing things, then certainly one of the methods will work for someone. And if we have enough, we can have a method that works for everyone, even if it's not the same all the time. Because like I say, there is always room to improve. Even at the top competitive level, those players are not at the top of their game. They still can do more. They have not reached their skill cap yet. They may have reached their skill cap for a particular day, but there is always more they can do. And I think that's one of the things that makes competitive so interesting, is because the best players in the world, they can still get better. And for me, That's terrifying.